Thank you very much. Hey, it's great to be here, guys. My name is Christoph Cemper, and I'm going to talk about the top 10 SEO mistakes to avoid. If you think you look like an alien because I got 2 of those, that's because this is from the organizers and this is my own mic, so don't worry. It's great to be back in Amsterdam, and I have a nice story for you guys. Actually, 8 years ago, when the Netherlands still had a Queen's Day, I had my first speaking gig in Amsterdam here at the RAI. It was the A4U Expo, but it was also an affiliate conference. And gambling, the CAC, came right after that. I'm very pleased and very honored to be back, and I learned a couple things in those 8 years. And to be frank, actually in the last 14 years, every day I get up in the morning to think about just one thing: links, and maybe redirects, and red canonicals, and everything else that you might consider off-page. Before we actually get started, is there anyone in the room who thinks that links are not important for rankings, for making money, for traffic? No problem, you can, okay, sir. We'll have a conversation later on. No, this is actually someone who very, very much understands the importance of links. But I'm asking this because there is a lot of misinformation in the market from the last years. I'll get to that later. That's a bonus mistake if you want. I am in SEO marketing since 2003, and I'm the founder of link research tools, Link Detox. Who of you knows or has used Link Detox before? Can I see a show of hand? Would you like to use it again? Who of you would like to use it again? Well, actually, that was a tricky question because it's not about using it once or again. My recommendation is to use it on a regular basis, but we'll get to that later. As you might have figured, I'm into orange jackets and SEO. I love orange jackets, and 8 years ago I had an orange jacket in a packed room about link building. The golden rules of link building back then was the topic. Okay, so when those rankings won't go up, who of you knows this feeling? You know, you do your marketing, you write your content, you share it on Twitter, you share it on Facebook, and the rankings just won't go up. You don't get any more love from Google. Come on, who of you knows that feeling? Who of you would like to have that changed? Of course. This is a typical problem in SEO, and I want to talk about some reasons why you might experience problems. Everyone has been there, including myself, and everyone is right there at the moment. When I say your rankings don't go up, you might be in the same position as Hertz. You know, the car rental company? Everything was fine. You know, everything is fine is the new, we've always done it that way. And after Hertz did a full link audit and a link truth recovery, this huge brand had 480% more traffic, 5 times more traffic from Google, just by fixing their links. And of course, that's a big brand, right? What do they have to lose? Oh, they're a big brand. They don't need to care about SEO anyway, or whatever. Whatever the belief is, it's wrong. This is something that I cannot get tired of repeating. Your backlinks are your asset. In the case of Hertz, how long has Hertz been online? 20 years? You build up over all these years? You cannot not take care of that. You also take care of your accounting. You take care of your books. You take care of your teeth, right? You go to the dentist every, 6 months? So anyways, link audit and monitoring is something that is a practice that is to be established in your company if it's not happening right now. Because if you do a one-off, you might run into the same trap as many others. You might drop again because the web doesn't stop, it doesn't change. It doesn't stop changing. But number 10, and I'm counting down here to the most ridiculous, but at the same most hurtful and most trivial problem to number 1. So we start with some, let's say, more fancy ones. Who of you has used the Disavow file before? Okay. Important. Google will not take care of things. They will recrawl the web, and when they recrawl the web, and this can sometimes take months for some bad links, then they take that Disavow file into consideration for that website. So if you search Disavow a really spammy domain that is only being crawled every 6 months by Google, then this will only get into effect after 6 months. And who of you knows these blog posts? They're on Moz, they're basically everywhere. I disavowed all my links and nothing happened. Who of you knows that? Come on. Everyone has heard this. Okay. It's wrong. It's because of that. If you do upload a Disavow file, all that happens is it's there at the Google Search Console, a little tool that is being distributed to the servers. Up to 9 months was the longest period of time that we had to wait. We have a solution for that called Link Detox Boost to enforce crawling, to measure if Google has actually recrawled those links that you want disavowed. You can run it roughly 48 hours after uploading the disavow. It's part of link research tools, but if you have another way of having a consistent way of getting links crawled, then you can try that. Just make sure you want to know when Google was looking at your links that you disavowed. By the way, this is a method that you can also use for link building, for link changes. If you delete links, the same concept applies. If you delete a link and it doesn't go away, if the penalty doesn't go away, then Google maybe hasn't seen that change. So, number 9, disavowing all the links regardless of the quality. We have seen, and we have seen a lot, companies totally freak out, totally believe that links are not important, disavowing everything. Like, okay, there's some badness coming from links, let's get rid of all of them. It happens. The good news is most of them just disavowed all that they saw. So when you use Google Search Console, you get like 1% of the links, and that's what they thought were all, and disavowed them all. So in some cases, it didn't make such a large impact. However, not all links are equal. And even if you have links that you think are good, they might not be. Because they might be on spammy paid link networks. They might also be on very reputable websites. And Google went public to say, they claim that they find all the paid links, even if they're on Forbes and Entrepreneur and really, really big magazines. I do not agree with this. I think what they really said is they are trying to find all. They would love to find all of them. And if your competitors report you, they might find it as well. This is still a big part of the spam fighting algorithm, manual reports. But how to fix that? When you review each backlink, we can calculate the potential risk of a link. We can calculate the potential of it hurting you and give you a recommendation, give you an idea of what we think. It's like a measurement. And of course, you only want to get rid of the really, really bad ones. The problem at this point is a lot of communication, a lot of education is required, experience, to judge on this in addition to data. When you have a lot of data, that's good. But you don't want to, just follow it blindly. Make sure that you hire a professional or an agency that you can hold accountable to do that. Here's a very, very common problem. Looking at only a slice of your backlink profile. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why thousands of websites have not recovered from Google Penguin. Who of you has a website that never recovered? Huh? Some of you? This has been going on for years. The problem is, if you just look at the blue slice here, if you do not take all the links into account, and this is an extreme example from a large financial institute, a bank if you want. If you say that looking at 2% of the backlinks is enough, that is exactly like saying, I go to the dentist and every time I go there, he only looks at my front teeth to check if everything is fine. You want all your teeth checked, right? Or having your car inspected if it's safe for the next year to drive. If you say, just check the front lights are okay, you're safe for the next year. That's exactly what's happening. And it's happening today, it happened yesterday, and I have hundreds of examples seen like that, where people would stick with a penalty because the job was just not completed. This is not good enough. In fact, it's the opposite. If you do a little bit of checking like here, it could lead you into the false conclusion, okay, we did something, so we should be fine, we looked at that. But actually you did not. So it's also not a top-level approach. Misconception here is that a lot of people compare this to statistics. When we have elections, they ask some random people on the street who should become president. And based on that sample, there is some statistical, mathematical background on that. If the sample is good enough, significant, they try to extrapolate who wins. And as we all know, especially in the United States, but also in the UK, these extrapolations went wrong with Mr. Trump or with the Brexit, right? But that's for the statistic part. Here, we want to crawl that orange part. that stuff has to be crawled. You cannot use some mathematics to calculate the domains or links that need to be checked or disavowed. So really, should we really audit all the backlinks? Yes. My clear call to action to all of you is to ask the question, which share of my backlink profile did I actually look at when I tried to get rid of a penalty? And like the example of Hertz, they did a full audit and they have 5 times more organic traffic. Can you afford to not have 5 times more traffic? I mean, seriously, who does not want 5 times more traffic, huh? Anyone? Show of hands? No? Back there? No. Okay. Interesting kicker in the Hertz case is, in addition to having 5 times more organic traffic from Google, the conversion rate more than doubled. Why is that? Anyone? Anyone ever heard of so much more organic traffic also leading to higher conversion rates? I give you my theory. If all the searches from a consumer bring up the brand much higher, the trust into the brand is higher, and therefore the conversion rate is higher. Yeah, whatever I search, always I see Hertz, it always comes up. It must be the best stuff. Google tells me so. This is what I think. I don't have any proof. I didn't do any conversion testing on that, but just to let you remember, Hertz did a full link cleanup, and a link choose recovery fixed their inbound links from the last 20 years, and their bottom line is 10 times more. They 10x'd their money, their bottom line, by just doing that. Nothing else was involved. And actually, the agency RBBI won the best SEO campaign at an award some weeks ago. Well, if you consider 3% of the work done, no, it's not done. How to fix it? Combine as many backlink sources as possible and look at a full picture. And you can do that, or you can do it by hand. You can, if you only have a couple hundred, a couple thousand links, you can try combine and go to Moz and Majestic and Ahrefs and download them all and combine them together. The problem here is you get up to 5-year-old data from some of the public tools. I'm not sure if who of you knows that. When you download Majestic data, it can be 90 days old or 1 year old or 5-year-old, depending on what you look at. I suggest to use a software like ours to analyze all the backlinks and recrawl them actually before you look at the data. You don't want to work with 5-year-old data. Anyways, tip number 7, not monitoring the backlink profile after the link audit. Can I get any new links? Is that the problem? Ingo, a client of ours, got rid of a penalty in 2013. In 2016, he approaches me and says, I'm out of the link game. This is too dangerous. It's too risky. I shit my pants every time I thought about links, so I didn't do any links. Why? I have the SSL, I have the page speed, as you heard from Bastian. Why, oh why, Christoph, am I not ranking anymore? What are these news guys doing that I'm not doing? And I ran a link detox and I saw this. Ingo, who got rid of his penalty in 2013, grew some extra bad links to the profile. Ingo did everything right. He had a website, he had a content, he had a fast page loads, he had SSL, he had marketing, he had content marketing, he had social, he had an amazing follow-up sequence. Everything in the marketing funnel was perfect. But someone built links for him. Maybe using a link opportunity review method as we offer to judge on the link before you actually build it and then to decide, okay, these are the good links, we take them, and the bad links probably went to Ingo. This is why he tripped another link penalty because of negative SEO. And you guys, in everything gaming, in everything Forex, everything payday loans, everything that has high margin, high money business, negative SEO has been going on for 10 years. And there are a couple people in the audience that know a thing or two about what is possible in addition to what I just plotted. The thing is, not looking after your backlink profile is like not going to the dentist, it's like not having your car checked, it's like not doing your accounting. Who of you knows the feeling when you worked for a month or maybe a year and totally disregarded, ignored accounting? I don't have time for that shit. And then after a year, you clean up that, you spend weeks with your accountant, with your tax advisor, you do all that, you climb that huge mountain and get the shit done, and then you can file your taxes. What do? You want to have that again? You want to have another 2 weeks next year where you go through that, or 2 months? I certainly don't. And I've been there, done that, I got the t-shirt. It feels bad. It feels really, really bad to not do your accounting. So I keep up with our accounting. We have an in-house accountant that takes care of that. When I talk to Natasha, she knows exactly what we're doing. She knows every piece of the business. Because giving this to an agency or a tax advisor at that point means already some distance. The links are the same thing. Let me remind you what would happen if they would shut down Google. You heard about the EU law, the EU judgment on Google. What if they finally turn it off? Where do we get our traffic from? Any ideas? We actually have a shirt for you if you have an idea. Where does the traffic come from? It's your links. The best links are in your profile. Sorry? From Bing. I agree, there will be search engines around, and they might send some traffic as well, which is another reason to take care of your backlink profile, because other search engines also take links into account. Is that what you mean? I could hardly hear you. No, that was a joke. Don't worry. Nobody's gonna shut down Google. Don't worry, guys. You can still spend all your millions with Google AdWords for the next hundreds of years to come. But I'm just plotting this idea that links were there before Google, and they sent people traffic before Google, and they will continue to send you traffic. And the best about it is, those links are having higher conversion rates in many cases if you have referral traffic. So you want to keep track of that. You want to maintain those links, even if they don't have an immediate benefit in Google. Anyways, tripping a penalty is not nice, and your enemies are out there. All the negative SEO that I just plotted is a call to action for you to monitor your backlinks. But if you do not believe the negative SEO story, yeah, I heard this for years, but Google said nothing can hurt me. You know, when you read these 140 character recommendations from Google, let me remind you, search engine optimization and online marketing does not mean simply following 140 characters from Google. Does not mean just following the Google guidelines. Of course, we have Google guidelines where Google tells us what they recommend to do. But search engine optimization has always been trying to understand the search engine, has been trying to exploit some, let's call them tricks, or let's call them exploits. Whatever your risk is that you would accept, it's always a little extra. You want to be as good as your competition and a little bit better, not like crazy. But setting up link alerts or another monitoring software for your links not just helps you to keep those great links for Google, it helps to keep your great links that send you traffic and conversions. So some link building mistakes. Number 6, stop building new links after you recover from a penalty. If you go to our booth, we have the perfect example of someone who said, I cleaned up all my links and I did not recover. If you go to the dentist and he pulls out all your teeth, you still cannot eat. You need new teeth to replace. And the same is true with links. If you really only have bad links, you need new links on top of that. If you seriously have to disavow 100% of your links, this would mean there are no links left to make you rank. I'm sorry. Great links don't fall just from heaven, so you never stop building links. And when I say building links, I don't mean just buying links, you know, off a directory. When I speak here, I will get a link, and I will get a second link. And when I post this on Facebook, I might get a third link from people. I'm not just talking about SEO links. I'm talking about any kind of link that gets you traffic, that gets you out there. Let me remind you that link building is marketing. Let me remind you that closing a link is not just sending money somewhere, it's convincing someone. It's closing someone on the idea that you are link worthy. And just to bridge to everything on page, if your website is bad, if your landing page loads very slow, if there's nothing interesting there, if it's not funny if you want, people won't link to it, not even for money in some cases. Yeah? So link building is not a mechanical thing. It's basically everything in marketing. Let your salespeople build links. Let your marketing people build links. When you send out, when you get applications from people asking for a job, why not ask them for a little bit of, you know, exercise to show if they can write on the web about you? Anyways, some very, very popular mistake is stuffing the anchor text with commercial keywords. But let me tell you that commercial keywords are not bad per definition. You need to use commercial keywords or money keywords in moderation. In the past, this was totally overdone, and it is very, very, very tempting because it still works. Whatever you hear that anchor text is dead is from the same people that say SEO is dead. And SEO has been dead since 1997. When I built my first web page on GeoCities, people already said that SEO is dead. They actually referred to Alta Vista, that meta keywords would not work anymore or something. So that specific detail is correct. SEO changes. Money keywords are risky. It's great that people link to you as long as they create links in a natural way. You just don't want to obsess about the anchor text. People will use anchor text anyways. Let them use whatever anchor text they come up with. If it's your brand name, it's great. If it's your URL, it's great. If they use, because you're in the casino space, online casino in Amsterdam, so what? That's great. It's not bad. If you overdo it and you have 500 links, new links this week saying online casino in Amsterdam, it might be bad because you didn't have that anchor text for the last 10 years. Always think about the temporal effect. So, let me continue. Link prospecting mistakes. Building just any link. Just give me the link. There are some companies that have still a very, let's say, decentralized structure where you have a marketing department in every country of the European Union. So the head of global marketing sends out an email to all his local marketing people in Sweden, in Norway, in Germany. We need more links. You guys are responsible to get me 100 links per month or your bonus will go away. This happens. And it is not a KPI to count the number of links. I got a whole presentation from last year at Brighton SEO that you can Google, find online about the number of links. The number of links are nothing, they're worthless. And actually what happened was that people went on Fiverr and bought, not 100, they bought 500. Oh, they took the whole package for the 5,000 spam links. And they thought they were really great. And that cost that little country a little bit of a penalty. And here's the kicker. Now everyone, and I think Bastian spoke about that as well, now that domains get migrated into one main domain, they inherit all this spam from all these years. So whenever you have a very international structure where you want to integrate the Swedish, the Nordic, the Danish, the Dutch domain into a main domain, be aware that there might be some sins from the past that you need to clean up before you do the redirect. Because here is another misconception that died in 2013. Redirects now also pass penalties. And that's exactly what happened. The main company did everything right. It was basically the countries they integrated went wrong. So wouldn't it be nice to just Google good links? No. It just pays off. Actually, I got a very popular SEO on stage on SMX Munich saying just that. Well, let's Google buy links. Let me tell you that whenever an offer is too good to be true, in general in life, but especially when it comes to links, you do not go for it. Do not buy it, please. All the Facebook groups that, you know, the moment you see DAPA, who of you knows Moz DAPA as a measurement for links? The moment you only have that as a measurement, I can tell you, you are in trouble, because that is a very dangerous metric to measure link quality, essentially. Oh, wait, my Windows has to be activated here. Can we, no. I think I can proceed. No, it works, no problem. Okay, so my call to action is to build high quality links only and make yourself a mind before you build it. And when I say before you build it, I have a solution for you. There's a product called Link Opportunity Reviews Tool where you can analyze links before you actually build it. You don't want to plug in a new teeth without knowing that it will fit, right, at the dentist. And the same is true for links. Nowadays, it's possible to judge on a link before it was actually built. You see where those links would be coming from, and there's a way to assess the potential risk. And it's also your responsibility to decide that, okay, I'm willing to take the risk because I love that website, or I think it's going to get me a lot of conversions. You know, it always many things together, but it's possible. Super popular. I know everything. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I know everything about SEO. Which is actually not true for every industry, except the industry where you have been in for 10 years. So if you're an agency or a consultant, I urge you, please, to look at backlink profiles, to look at the data that is available, to understand the industry. It's a difference if you have an online casino or if you have online casino bonuses or if you have online casino vouchers or gift cards or if you have something about poker. Every industry, every language, every country, and even the keyword space is different when it comes to SEO. And this is where the whole niche marketing idea comes from. Niche marketing just builds on the idea that you find a niche that no one else found before, and you can easily get success there because no one else tried that before. Let me tell you that gaming, finance, software, insurance, banking, credit cards, they all have different rules and different players. and your real competition matters, not what you read on some blog post. And this is why, whenever you read, you should do, recipe-like. These SEO recipes. Okay, let's do 20% no-follow links. Who of you has read that? Huh? 20% no-follow links are natural. They're not. Absolutely not. In fact, there are some industries where 20% no-follow links are unnatural because everyone there has 80% because it's very social. They have a lot of communities, a lot of forums linking to them with no-follow links. That's not a problem, but you want to know it. Okay. The same is true about the relation between brand and commercial keywords, for example. How many money keywords are natural? Anyone? You are not able to answer this question. So if you have a website and everyone in that industry has 80% money keywords, that is the benchmark. You want to benchmark your industry, and this is competitive research. To understand what you can do or what you cannot do. If you just follow simple advice to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that because I read it on the internet, you will either get penalized or you will never have the success that you could have. How to fix it is, of course, to look at your competitors and find out what type of links they have, the ratios of links, and there's a whole, basically I could talk for a whole day, and actually I do talk for 2 days in Vienna, in September, in October, in Las Vegas, in Brighton, with a new training where we discuss all these methods. This is about the mindset. I try to give you the mindset that the web out there does change and that your competitors are after your stuff. They're building links that you don't build today. And with all the money that you save, with all the money that do not spend on SEO or competitive research, you cannot buy back the time that they have an advantage. You know why Link Detox is the killer product and the leader in link audits? Because I started in 2012 and I gave it away for free for 8 months. I collected 10,000 of penalty data, put this into machine learning, and that's it. In 2013, we were way ahead of everything else out there. And you know what? Even if a venture capitalist pours 100 million euros into some company, they cannot buy a time machine to go back and collect the data that I collected. You know what I'm saying? Time is equal for all of us. Not taking action or not working on your SEO, not looking after your backlinks means it gets worse. It's like the accounting. Okay, let's not look after my books for another year. It just gets worse. You might get a penalty or something. Okay. Finally, website migrations. This is very on-page, but it actually has to do with off-page. Not checking the 404 pages. Who of you knows 404 pages? Come on. There were even contests for the previous 404 pages. Oh, let's make funny 404 pages instead of fixing them, right? Fixing the reasons for the 404s. I tell you that Hertz had a lot of 404s. And actually not just 404s, error pages were not found. There are 5 or 3 errors. There are 3 or something redirects that are broken. There might be 4 or 10 guns. A lot of errors on the website. And this is a human problem. If humans work on a website, you get errors. If those web pages have links, you lose that link. Google doesn't figure it out. I'm sorry. They don't even care to figure it out. It's not their job. Their job is selling ads. 99.9% of Google is ad sellers. SEO and giving you free traffic, that's done. You got some free traffic. You want more? Buy more. So what I urge you to is to keep in mind that there are links to your website maybe from 5 years ago, maybe from 10 years ago. It might be from the person that worked in SEO before you. It might be from an agency working before you. And those links might be super valuable. There is this misconception where people say every link older than a year doesn't matter. Actually, if you listen to my podcast at podcast.linkresearchtools.com, I interviewed an ex-Googler, Kasper Szymanski, and we went through all these things. He worked in a Google spam team for 7 years. He penalized websites. He killed businesses overnight for spam violations. And he has talked to engineers, and he spills the beans on many of these things. He tries to clear up misinformation. And Kasper and many others were the ones that taught me these things. I didn't make up, these stories. The thing here is checking for redirects, for which pages to redirect. I often hear the statement that you can look at your Google Analytics, to fix it. The truth is most problems are not there. Reclaiming your links works with a website relaunch tool called Link Juice Recovery that looks at every link, even if it's not clicked for 3 months. And you can get them fixed in no time. And here's a bonus. This is the most trivial, most dangerous, and most hurtful mistake. no index. It's almost equal with robots.txt. When you have an agency, they build a great new website, you put it live, you switch the DNS, the domain switches, everyone goes there, everyone loves it, you go celebrate, get drunk, get all the champagne, and the agency forgot to take out the no index tag, and all your rankings disappear. And let me tell you, this happens to everyone. It happened to a client with 20 million visitors per day. 20 million visitors per day went down to 1 million. Well, still great, you know, for the brand and all that. But this is something that doesn't go away because it's human error. And when you lose rankings because of that, you lose them in a couple days. Earning them back took 3 months, 3 freaking months to get up to 20 million a day. They had all the money to fund that, but this one mistake can put businesses out of business, can make them go bankrupt. It's basically like a self-attack. Yeah, it happens a lot. So don't forget to look at that. And we got a free browser extension called Link Redirect Trace that you can download in Chrome or Firefox, along with other SEO browser extensions that Link Research Tools has published. I think yeah. And yeah. Go check it out on the web. This was me, Christoph Cemper, and you can hear and ask me all the questions at 2 in the panel. That's the 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got Christoph's coming back at 2. There's a big panel with Bastian and Andrew Edwards where we talk about all stuff to do with Google Penguin and search. Do we have any questions on Slido? Or okay, there's a question there.
Every question wins a T-shirt, by the way. Yeah. Every question wins a T-shirt. So
okay, we'll have to be brief though. So
okay, you can ask me after.